and welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to look at 3 creative ways to use your stamps. So for this video I'm going to use this really cute Picket Studios stamp set I just had to buy because I just love the florals on the hot air balloons, and that's designed by Kelly Taylor Cards. And I've got the die set that goes with it as well. We're actually not going to use that much today, but there is a coordinating die set if you like to get those to go with your stamps. So the first technique that we're going to do is some masking, and this is a really good technique for when you want to create kind of scenic cards. So first I'm just going to lay my stamps out so I know where I want them. And actually I may as well stamp them with my stamp platform. So then I'm just inking those up with my Memento Tuxedo black ink. It's a dye based ink because I want to colour it with my alcohol markers. By the way, I'll link this stamp platform below. If you are looking for a stamp platform, either as an extra or because you don't have one, I actually really like this one for the price that it is. It's a really good price. It's from Creative Craft Products and it has a few like extra features as well. I'm going to do a video on it soon once I've had a few weeks using it, but I am really enjoying it. So now I've got this, but I want to mask it off. So I'm going to bring in a masking sheet and I'm going to stamp these again onto the masking sheet. So in terms of masking sheets, there are different kind of almost grades available. So these are cheap ones from Amazon and you get a lot more for your money. They are really cheap, but the downside of that is that once I peel these off, I won't be able to reuse them. So then I'm just going to cut these out, and you want to cut them on the line. And the reason for that is that you don't want a halo effect around your image. So I would say that if you're not worried about reusing your masks, then go ahead and buy an inexpensive masking sheet like these. If you are, I would recommend something like Gina K's Masking Magic. Those are quite good for using again. But you'll notice when I tear these up in a little while that they do the job, but when you tear them up, they do tear. So as I cut each bit off, I'm just sticking it over the balloon that's on my card. So this, by the way, is just a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock that I used to stamp these on. And you'll notice that I'm cutting the top part of the balloon and the basket separately because I actually want you to be able to see the background through these pieces, which would obviously normally be open to the sky. So that's why I'm doing the top and the basket separately. So then I'm going to do some blending. So I'm going to start off with some saltwater taffy, and then I'm going to go in with some Stormy Sky, and then some dusty Concord, and then I'm going to go back down with the other colours to create a smoother blend. So then I can remove those masks, and you can see these work fine, but you're not going to be using them again because they are ripping as they come off. So then, because we've gone over with Distress Oxide inks, which is opaque, then I'm just going to go over these lines with my marker that were covered up with the Distress Oxide ink. So then I'm going to colour my balloons with my alcohol markers. So there's my finished coloured piece. So then I'm going to use this Let Your Dreams Take Flight stamp, and I heat emboss that down here. And you want to make sure that you really go over this well with an embossing buddy or something similar, just to make sure that the powder doesn't stick to that ink we've put down. And then I'm going to emboss that with some black embossing powder. And then you could have it just like that for a softer look, but I'm going to cut it down slightly because I just want a thin black border around the outside. I'm going to add it to a black card base. So I've just taken 1/8 of an inch off that, and then I can add it to my card blank. And then I think that looks really nice. So then for this next card, I'm going to go with another blended background. And this time I'm going to go with blue. So I'm going to go Salvaged Patina at the bottom. And then I'll move on to Broken China. And then onto Peacock Feathers. And again, I'm going to blend up to the top and then back down again to get the nicest blend. So then I have coloured 3 of these smaller balloons and cut them out with the coordinating dies, and I've also used this mini stamp Polaroid die from scrapbook.com to create these little postage stamps. I'm going to grab my ink and I'm just going to stamp "So Proud of You." So then I'm going to die cut this with the coordinating die. So I actually decided that I wanted a border around the outside of my card, so I created a mat with the same blend, and then I can use this one for the next one, and then I can add on all my pieces. So I'm just going to glue this on to my card front. So then I'm going to glue down these pieces. And then I'm going to pop up my sentiment and the balloons on foam pads. So then there's that cute card finished. So then, as I said before, I'm going to use this blended card front for my final card instead. So I'm going to use this bigger stamp for this one. I'm going to stamp it just onto the front of that panel. I've stamped that. I don't mind that this bit's not come out properly. I could obviously re-stamp it again because I've got this, but we're going to cover up most of this anyway. So then I'm going to use this congratulations sentiment. I'm just going to stamp that underneath. So let's stamp that across there. And then on this one, I want to add a whole heap of dimension. So I have cut and coloured my hot air balloon, and you can see I've not added much detail to the flowers on this because I've actually stamped it again and just coloured and cut out the flowers as well, so that I can decoupage that up. So I'm just going to curl that round a pen a minute, just to add a bit of dimension. And this is a really nice thing to do to get a little bit of a different look from your stamps. And then I'm going to add some foam pads behind. And I'm not going to add the foam pads right out to the sides because we're going to lose the curve then. I'm just going to add them kind of in the middle section. And then I'm going to do the same again with my flowers. And then you can see that that adds more dimension again. So now this card really pops out. It looks really pretty. So there are all 3 of today's cards. I'd love to know which is your favourite. Please do let me know in the comments below. And I really hope it's given you some ideas for how to stretch your own stamp sets. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate you clicking like below. You can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the products that I've used for today's cards are listed in the description below, and there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that helps you find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.